This shark doesn't have teeth. And there's a good reason why this shark doesn't have teeth. That's because it doesn't need them. Check this out. Its mouth is like sandpaper. Smooth-skinned dogfish don't need teeth for what they eat. And the diet of this shark is actually a reason why it's so delicious. Other sharks are feeding on fish, which give it a little bit more of a oilier flavor, whereas a diet of crustaceans and shellfish give it a little bit of a cleaner taste. Another really cool thing about this shark is it's on the green list. There's plenty of this fish in the ocean, and taking them and eating them is not harming the population at all. Smooth-skinned dogfish are primarily bycatch in the commercial market, which means this shark wasn't intentionally harvested. This dogfish was caught in Connecticut bycatch from a local commercial fisherman that was fishing for fluke. But there is a market for it, so when it is caught on accident, it's still sold and consumed. This shark has a really low market value, which makes it a great affordable option. And in Europe, it's an affordable option for a good fish and chips. We're gonna put it on the scale, and commercial fishermen are getting paid around $1 a pound for this bycatch. And often they're getting paid that with the head removed already. We're gonna go with the head on. So this entire shark is $7.89. And I know that sounds really inexpensive, but once you clean it up and get to the edible parts, it does get a little bit more expensive, and we're gonna show you. First thing we're gonna do is chop off the head and the fins. Cutting off the fins is really easy. You can feel at the base of the fin where the cartilage from the fin ends. You see these lines that run down that fin. Where those lines end is where you want to cut to. And just like that. We don't need to cut these fins off because they're going to come off when we take the head off as well. But we're going to get rid of these anal fins. We're going to go at the base of those, cut them off just like that. Take off the second one, take that fin off as well. And the final one right here, just like that. Instead, we're going to lob off right here. Very easy to cut through the spine of a shark, so it's just all cartilage. Now, you can feel with your fingers a bone right around here. We're going to puncture underneath that bone right there, and then we're going to outline forward. We don't want to just come behind the head right here and cut down, because you're going to miss out on the meat up here. So we're going to repeat that process. You can see how it's protruding right there. We're going to puncture right underneath it. Pull forward, and we're going to cut forward. Now, where this opening is here, we're going to stick our knife straight through there and cut through. Stick our knife straight through the belly opening, cut through. Now, we can see where the meat ends. Just give this a little pull forward, just like that. And we're going to go ahead and cut it off right there. And you can see how these collarbones are down here, and we got all that that's remaining up here. And we're going to go right in the middle, cut through it. Now that meat does not look bad at all. Now filleting a shark is really easy. You've got this cartilage right here, and what you want to do is you want to get your knife right on top of that at a slight downward angle, resting your knife right on top of that cartilage and slide down just like that. Flip it over, get our knife right on top of that cartilage and slide down, and there's two good looking fillets. Now, part of why this meat looks so good is the commercial fisherman that was fluke fishing that caught this bycatch. Even though it was a bycatch, he's still gonna sell it to a market, so he still took great care of the fish. He gutted it and bled it right away, buried it in ice, and having your shark gutted, bled, and buried in ice right away is going to really help prevent that little bit of stinky meat shark flavor. All right, we got our two bottom half fillets. Now we've got our head portion right here. It's still connected, but there's a little opening right there. We're going to stick our knife in, come out just like that, and it looks like there's still a little bit of kidney in here, and we want to clean that out. So if you see this stuff right here, that's the kidney, and we don't want that kidney in there while we're filleting it along the spine. Now we're taking out just the leftover gook from that kidney to have a nice clean inside when we fillet. And yes, I'm sure you've heard me say you don't want fresh water touching your meat, and that is true. We only have the surface exposed, and the trade-off for getting this nice and clean just like that is a fair trade-off for just having that surface touch a little bit of fresh water. You know how we fight to keep our oceans clean, protect our fisheries, and make sure what's on our plate is responsibly caught? Well, online there's a similar fight to keep your digital life safe, clean, and protected from overfishing by data-hungry companies. That's where Surfshark comes in. Think of it like protected waters for your internet activity. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network and is a tool that hides your location, scrambles your data, and stops shady trawlers from scooping up your personal information. Without it, your online activity is exposed to companies poaching your personal data and information. Surfshark allows you to browse privately by encrypting your internet activity, blocking ads and malware, and more. Just like choosing sustainable seafood keeps the ocean balanced, using Surfshark keeps your online world in balance, protecting your privacy while you explore, shop, or check your favorite fish recipes. It even lets you surf to the other side of the world to see content that's usually blocked there. So, if you care about protecting what matters, whether it's our seas or your personal data, Surfshark has your back. Go to surfshark.com/read or use code READ at checkout for 4 extra free months of Surfshark VPN. There's zero risk because they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Surf safe, surf free, and keep your digital waters clean. So we're gonna pick up on the belly like this, and what's great about cutting the top half is you get this nice angle from having an opening in the belly where you can really make sure you have your knife laying right down on top of that cartilage, just like that. And on this side, we're gonna get our knife under that spine, just like this, get a good grip on it, make sure our knife is angled up. That way we're scraping that spine and missing out on as little of the meat as we possibly can. And when you cut the spine out like that, you're gonna have a little bit of extra cartilage possibly left behind. You can see this white line. We're just going to shave our knife right underneath that, and it'll come right out. You can see the bloodline right down here. We're going to go on one side of it, go all the way down, cut through the skin, and just separate that entire loin out, just like that. Do the same thing the other side. We're gonna go right down, dip your knife to the cutting board, apply a little bit of pressure, and then remove that low loin. Now you can't tell me that doesn't look good. The skin is pretty tough on these sharks, so you can apply a little bit of pressure down on it without cutting through it. Take out some of that red while you're doing it by not scraping the skin too hard. Even the bottom, where you have all that myoglobin-rich meat, is still beautiful looking. Now these belly portions, because the fish is inexpensive, sadly, a lot of people waste these. We're not going to. It takes a little bit more work to trim it, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. If you ever catch one of these while you're fishing for fluke or black sea bass, you'll know how to trim this up. Start at an angle. We're gonna remove the skin first, and then we're going to remove the membrane. That greening right there is around where the stomach was on this shark. So that tells me that there was a little bit of fluid that was punctured when this fish was gutted. We do not want to eat that, so we're gonna trim all of that green out. So instead of starting down here, we're gonna start up here to just go around that green. We've got this silver skin or membrane right there, and it's very easy to cut through that. So you want your knife flat, not angled down. The slightest angle down, and you're gonna cut right through that membrane. So very carefully, just like that, and you were able to get that whole belly portion without cutting through that paper-thin membrane. We've got our belly portions, skinless, membraneless. We've got our beautiful high loin slabs. Now this tail portion, easiest part to skin. Get down there, flatten out your knife, just give it a good push, and you can see how easy that was to skin. We're gonna do the other side. Start off at a hard angle, flatten out your knife, get a good grip on that skin. Now, do have some of this red meat, myoglobin-rich meat, on the back side of the shark, and we can take our thin, sharp knife and trim a little bit of that off. That is gonna have a stronger flavor to it. All right, so the wholesale market value of this fish was $7.89. Now that dollar is the fisherman to the fish house. The fish house is gonna have to sell it for more money to the restaurant, but we're just gonna go for that $7.89. We're gonna fillet down, belly, belly, high loin, bottom half. 2.64 pounds. All right, we got 2.64 pounds. That's about a 33% yield. That's honestly better than I thought we would have got after fully trimming it out like that. Having all that belly meat definitely helped us get a 33.4% yield, which means that the meat cost of this fish, if you bought the whole fish for $1, is only $3 a pound. What a steal for boneless, skinless, white meat. No wonder this is shipped off to Europe for fish and chips. But that's how they do it in Europe. My first time eating this shark, I actually had it barbecue. Yes, literally barbecue. I was a preteen, maybe younger. I know I wasn't even a teenager yet. And my dad brought home shark and he was cooking it on the grill in the backyard, which I love grilled fish, but I smelled something. And I'm like, are you putting barbecue seasoning and sauce on that fish? And he's like, yeah, it's this small shark, they're delicious, and they do great barbecue style. I was not into it. As a little kid, I thought that sounded gross and weird, didn't want it at all. Dad told me that you have to try it. You have to eat it with an open mind. And if you eat it with an open mind and you think it's gross, you don't have to eat it. Well, I tried it and it was absolutely delicious. And the reason why we were eating dogtooth shark for dinner, the higher market value fish, grouper snapper, got sold to the market to pay the bills, while the lower market fish, or shark, this dogfish, got eaten by us. And that's what we're doing today. We're gonna barbecue this up in the backyard, just like what we did when I was a little kid. But we're not gonna cook this exactly the way my dad did. We're gonna be hitting it with the Rectech barbecue sauce and colon cleaner. These two combined is absolutely phenomenal. And then after marinating it for a little while, we're gonna finish it off with some good stuff. If you didn't know, sharks release their urine through their skin, which can give the meat a little bit of a funky taste and odor. How you avoid that is a couple of things. Once you catch the fish, gutting it and bleeding it well right away, burying it in ice, making sure that it drops temperature very quickly and stays cold the entire time before you process it is super important. Next, you can marinate these in lemon or apple cider vinegar. There's a few different tricks to remove that odor, but as long as a commercial fisherman handled the fish well enough, you're often able to just avoid those steps altogether, because this fish is great just the way it is without those steps. And we're also gonna be covering it in sauce, so you don't have much to worry about. This stuff is so good, and it's made in Florida. It's got a good heat to it too. It is one of my favorite hot sauces for pork. Toss these around in here a little bit and just let them sit in that marinade. Just a quick soak, 20 minutes in the fridge, all we need. You can let it marinate longer, but we're not. We're ready to eat. So now we're gonna lay this over our grill racks, sprinkle some good stuff on it. There we go. We were even able to get a tiny bit of space in between each piece. We got our bullseye preheated to 400 degrees. Now we're ready to put it on the bullseye. Close her up. The sugars inside of that barbecue sauce will brown up from the radiant heat from the grill being closed. And it is looking good. That is exactly what we want to see, those nice dark edges and the caramelized sugars. This looks like it's gonna be delicious. I can't wait to try it. All right, you guys, we got beautiful dogfish shark, the sustainable shark without teeth. Let's give it a try. Crack right open to that big part right there. White, juicy. That's delicious. Not stinky, just, a little bit of that gaminess you get out of oilier fish. Not as strong tasting as bluefish or kingfish. Definitely not as mild as your typical fish for fish and chips. Barbecue, the sweet and spicy, helps with that little bit of stronger flavor going on in this fish. And I can tell that it could have benefited from a apple cider vinegar or a lemon marinade to pull some of that oil out of it. $3 a pound, I'll take this all day. Thanks for watching. Have a killer day.